Amateur MMA CRC welterweight division. This fight is sponsored by Sofa Galaxy. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, representing Spirit MMA. Please welcome to the ring, Micheàl Prendergast. Fighting out of the red corner, representing Fantom Team Dublin, please welcome Dawid Wisnios.
Some really nice techniques on display so far.
Prendergast is in the blue, you'll see it with the blue shins, and Wisnios is in the red shins with the black rash guard. Marius Tomasak gets us underway, a touch of gloves. Fighters just working off their jabs, and nice kick by Wisnios. Just a leg kick, just to find range at the moment, working their way in. Nice inside kick by Prendergast, and they're not really throwing anything on there, he's just peppering, and Prendergast changes levels, and
it's a nice
gets a big
takedown.
takedown. Looking for the back straight away.
He needs to be careful not to turn his back here. He's gripping the head very unusually, and he gets away with it. Prendergast, the carry man here from Spirit MMA, looking to try to clinch and put him to the mat one more time. Certainly he'd be aware that he turned his back the last time he brought him to the mat, so he'll know that if he can do that again.
Again, just looking for the trip here, and this could be a good balance by Wisnios so far, but Prendergast looking to get it, and he does. He gets it to the mat, and looks like he's landed in just in half guard here.
Half guard is open here. Half guard is wide open and sort of half locked now.
He's got to be careful as well. He's turning that back as well, turning into him, and
I think he's on a Kimura on the far side. It's difficult to see from our angle, but I think that's partly part of the reason why he's he's opened the half guard so wide is because he feels confident that he's got a nice 2-on-1 on this other arm. But
he is indeed, and
Prendergast needs to be very careful here.
He's just trying to lock his own arm here, and Wisnios is working for it. He's going to use it to sweep. Beautiful work. He's still working on it.
He's missed it, and now he's giving Prendergast back the underhook, which he chooses not to use. Goes back to his close guard. Good work there by Wisnios. Prendergast with the sweep attempt and looks for it. Almost looking for the reverse armbar. He's into triangle position here now. Beautiful transition by Prendergast. Great work. Pulling the head down here now.
Pulling the head down and just maybe needs to tighten it up. He makes that slight adjustment. Barry, what's he need to do to finish this here?
He needs to get this left arm across the belly. Oh, it could be enough. It could be enough for him here, but if he can get this left arm, and indeed Wisnios has moved the arm in for him. He's tightened and readjust again. It looks really good here now for Prendergast. Wisnios in real trouble here.
And what should Wisnios be doing here? Should be trying to step across, stack. What should he be doing to?
Well, you would think the angle needs to change here slightly for Wisnios. He needs to maybe move to his left as opposed to moving to his right, which really gathers this triangle in a bit deeper for Prendergast. He survived so far.
Prendergast again just pulling the head down. It looks to have tightened it somewhat.
Wisnios must be breathing through his ears here, but I can see that the legs of Micheàl Prendergast aren't quite as tight as he wants them, as you see him reach for his foot to adjust again. Last 10 seconds here. He's struggling, Wisnios. He's struggling, but he's not quite out. And I tell you what.
The head popped, as he said. He must have been breathing through his ears. He's a little slow to get up from his feet from it, so I would show you how close Prendergast was to getting the top.
Yeah, he looked to stagger. He was a little wobbly. I mean, perhaps almost, I don't want to say bad defense for Wisnios, but he shouldn't have really allowed himself to be brought and fall to his left that time. But it may have actually aided him with the position that they have up against the fence. Prendergast was unable to adjust and just found himself a little stiff with the triangle underneath the body of his opponent. But the Kerry man showing some nice ground skills, some nice takedowns.
As you said, he'd be very aware. Wisnios was cornering, and it was almost like a school ground bulldog choke or something. He was saying, like an old school ground choke.
Into the headlock, perhaps an opportunity for a noogie on the way by.
Or a wet willy.
Could have come. Well, we haven't quite seen it all in MMA yet. It might be the submission of the future.
Wisnios, has he got his wits about him again at the start of this second round? As we said, he walked slowly out, looked out of breath and gasping. Prendergast telegraphed that takedown.
Slow on that time by Prendergast, but you have to believe that maybe the squeezing of the triangle might have fatigued him too. As Wisnios managed to club a couple of shots over the top. Pace is slowed.
It really has slowed. Both fighters visibly slowed down, and Prendergast lands a nice left there. Didn't seem to be a lot on it, but it still rocked Wisnios back a little. Wisnios comes back, doubling up that left hook.
Good shot and good sprawl this time by Wisnios.
Good sprawl, and Prendergast sits back into his guard.
Yeah, perhaps happy to be here, knowing the change he got from the ground position in the first.
Again, he might start to work them legs up again.
Wisnios needs to be careful as Prendergast gets the head offline one more time, using those long legs of his. And again, looking to isolate one side as he did in the first round. What he's going to try and do here is connect his hands, maybe bring the left hand of Wisnios, and indeed perhaps even both hands at this stage he has the opportunity to do. In this case, it's the right hand, trying to position that on his neck to give him the opportunity for the triangle, which he goes for now. He has the arm this time, but it's awkward and it's scrambly, and it's not what he would have wanted it.
Wisnios was taking advantage of it, but again ends up in the guard of Prendergast.
Prendergast definitely comfortable on his back, but Wisnios maybe a little bit more savvy to the submissions than he was in the first, but he's come back into another triangle, and this time it must
be the triangle. This time changes to the arm.
The hand was almost up to tap. If you can bring that leg over the face and just work for it now, which he does, it's almost there. And he's lost it again. And, well, it was another strong attempt by Prendergast, and Good ground skills, and he's got another opportunity here if he's got the gas tank in him.
Wisnios needs to be careful. He keeps jumping back into the position and almost presenting the triangle opportunity again. So he's done it on a few occasions here.
You might think he'd be better off popping up out of this guard position and just taking his chances on the feet, where Prendergast does seem to be tired. And here's another triangle attempt, and this time Wisnios is a little bit wider to it. Micheàl Prendergast using this good isolation technique to try and get one arm of Wisnios offline.
Step over into half, but he's landing some shots here, and this is a weird one to score. And this one is in. You had Prendergast going for the submissions off his back, and you know you might look at it and see Wisnios is on top in the fight, but it was Prendergast who was trying to finish the fight with the submissions.
Well, boy, if we go by the letter of the law, that's Prendergast's round all day, because he did come close to finishing. And despite the fact that Wisnios did do some good work on top, for me there wasn't a lot of quality in there, and there wasn't one quality shot that you could say hurt Prendergast. And but even on the feet, Prendergast happy to give up the bottom position and work off his back, but perhaps might not be his best tactic in the second round, or in the third round, I should say.
I think both fighters as well, visibly tired. Will they able to rejuvenate in between rounds here? And if so, I think Prendergast, if he was fresh in the first round and that triangle position came available, that came available in the second round, I think if he would have finished if he was fresher. The long squeeze of the first triangle attempt, I think, drained him. Some of his shots were sloppy and slow and tired due to the squeeze he applied in the first round, but both fighters are tired. Wisnios does look the tireder of the two. A wall of attrition at this stage.
Third and final round.
Yeah, it's been a tough battle. Both quite slow to come out to the center. And Prendergast again does want to be on top, you can tell, but he needs to watch himself here, because
Wisnios landing nice
Wisnios
hands
is
here.
definitely throwing a heavier shot.
And Prendergast has got to defend himself here. He's taking these shots, and Wisnios turning it on.
And
Change of
Prendergast
levels.
gets his takedown, but needs to watch his neck. He's not in too much danger right now, but maybe he can get swept off this. And
Prendergast, he was really just backing up and getting hit, and to just change levels and absorbing them shots to get the takedown.
But again, fatigue from both men. Prendergast unable to defend just because of how tired he was, and Wisnios unable to defend the takedown for a similar reason. Heavy crossface required here now with the right arm, perhaps for Prendergast. Or he may try to set up the guillotine here. Indeed, he seems to be setting up the Bravo or the Darce choke. He's trying to feed through his left arm in here and trying to connect his hands. He looks to have it pretty tight here. It's pretty deep. But as we saw, Wisnios definitely has it. And he's escaped it. Well, he's escaped it by going to his back, and it gives up position, but it does prevent you from getting tapped. And now he's just looking to lock on to Prendergast here now. And he's not really interested.
He's trying to tie up from the bottom here as well, but at this stage of the fight, there's no way you're going to have the strength or to even create an angle to get a choke here.
Well, Prendergast could perhaps do with feeding in something now, perhaps looking for north-south choke. With his left arm, he can get his left arm on the neck, it's there. He can try and force his left arm under the far side of the neck, or he can look now again for Bravo or guillotine. He's got the guillotine in here, and it's slipped out. I think the head has come off. But again, he's attacking the arm. He's doing really well. He's keeping the attacks chain together, and he's forcing Wisnios to... I was going to say he's forcing Wisnios to give up some position, but in fact, Wisnios does well and scrambles to the top. These are two tired-looking men.
Both fighters exhausted. That's exactly it. Wisnios just almost rolled into this position, and Prendergast is trying to reverse him now.
Wisnios goes for an ill-advised key lock, and it gives up the bottom, but he still has the crank on the arm here. He's not willing to let go. Both of them exhausted here. Can Prendergast just pop up and throw some shots? It's difficult to know which way the judges would score this, but Prendergast needs a big sprawl here now, or he's going to get reversed, and he does.
And Wisnios just powers through. He's in on the single, into the double. He's maybe going to look to pull the legs away from Prendergast. Prendergast is sitting back, holding that neck again. He's looking to step across into mounts.
It's not going to happen
easily
for him.
Stopped.
Wisnios throws some soft shots here now on the top, and that might take him the round. Well, there were really only 2 big actions in that fight that I can see. Both of them submission attempts from Micheàl Prendergast, and though he was exhausted in the final round, and you'd have to say his opponent probably got the better of him, I would still have to edge my decision towards Prendergast.
Yeah, I'd be in agreement. I think he's done enough in the first 2 rounds. He was the one who was looking to finish the fight. Both fighters exhausted. We're looking, just waiting to see the scores getting tallied up, but both fighters left it all in there. I don't think they'd have a minute in them left each, so.
Yeah, I think it was the big action was the first round. Prendergast squeezing like hell to try and finish, and for me, that took a lot out of his legs and certainly seemed to take a lot of the gas out of him. Wisnios likewise had to defend really hard, and as you said, staggered up to his feet at the end of that submission. So a tough fight to call, but like I said, Prendergast for me, because of those potential fight-winning techniques, I think he's done enough there.
And as well, a lot of the scrambles on the floor, they were through tiredness as well, and they both sort of cancelled each other by scrambling after they scrambled to each other. So we are going to our scorecards. We're just waiting. The judges are just tallying them up. It will always indicate that judges might be a little undecided. Just confirming, just making sure. Stefan Moriarty is telling our MC.
Something on the tally here, and I think it's.
We have got it, and
ready
let's
to
send
go.
it up to Terry Kavanagh.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we have come to a split decision. Judges scored this bout in favor of your winner, fighting out of the blue corner,